Hello, I'm Callum Dilietto, and this is Flock Together, the podcast for events and travel professionals. Season 1 is in partnership with Visit Berlin, Berlin Convention Office, and we're here today at Chewton Glen, where I am joined by Matt Browne. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Colin. Thank you for having me.
You're looking very sharp, very dapper.
I don't know, yeah. Something I threw on, I don't know.
Oh, he says. He's even got a pocket square. You know, I feel so underdressed now. You've shamed me on my own podcast.
No, you got to look the part. Reed Mackay representing and all, you know.
There it is. How are you, and how is Reed Mackay?
Honestly, yeah, better than ever, thank you very much. Everything's going really well, busy, going global in a bigger way than ever before, so all good.
Super exciting stuff. The first part of the podcast is an opportunity really for you to write a letter to the industry, to take that feather, make it a quill, and scrawl whatever it is you want to communicate to the masses.
Yeah. For me, I suppose it's about, I'm going to try and cover off sort of making the most of your opportunities, but in a particular way, and that's tied in with leisure. So combining business travel with leisure trips now. It's something that we're seeing so much more of in our industry. Certainly for us ourselves at Reed Mackay, it's something that's cropping up a lot more. And actually, it's an amazing industry we're in. And why not grab it by both hands? Why not make the most of those opportunities that we've got?
It's also a sort of a sustainable solution, if you think about it. Rather than travelling for a holiday and travelling for work, combine them both. I mean, obviously you're saving money, but also you're saving air miles, really. So it's actually there's a lot of sense to the leisure, increase.
100%, and the thing is, time's so precious as well. So time's so precious. Another thing is, everyone lost 2 years of great holidays as well. Why not now make the most of it? We're seeing so much more of it. You know, myself, for example, I've done a trip to IMEX, and the wife flew out a few days earlier, and we extended the trip and went to the Grand Canyon. You think, what other industry would I be able to do that kind of thing and make the most of it? And it's cost saving. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? My trip's paid for by my company, the hotel and everything. So why not? A couple of extra flights and you're there.
100%. I totally agree. And I think wherever you can, and even if it's you're in the continent, or you're in America, for example, and you want to go to the next state, it's only an internal flight. Then you're not paying for that whole long haul journey that you would have if you were coming from London or the UK.
Yeah, and people have made it so special as well, because people can see family, friends that they haven't seen for years. It's not always about the final destination of where the trip is. Sometimes on your flight home, it could be cheaper to get a connecting flight, but actually where it's connecting could be the destination where you're visiting uncle, auntie, grandparents, whatever it may be.
I've seen siblings in Australia, Barcelona and Vegas when I've been there for work trips, and they've been there at the same time because they were living there at those times or whatever, and it was like, oh wow, I'm actually getting to reunite with family members because of a work trip. So 100% agree with that.
Yeah, and it's special. And as well, a big thing as well is for that younger generation, so people starting off their careers. There's a really interesting article I was reading recently at GMI, they're a marketing agency. They were looking at Generation Z and basically what they want most from their career. And there was, different questions, do you want career progression? Are you looking for job title or anything like that? And the number one thing that came out of over 1,000 people that were surveyed was the opportunity to travel in their work. So I think something like that, it's that new generation that are coming through, that you're actually like, there's such an opportunity here for yourselves.
Well, this ties in perfectly with the next section of the podcast, and it's all about remembering. And so I'd like you to remember your first ever work trip.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. So I started off in leisure travel. And I remember vividly, it landed on my desk and it was an incredible one. So it was Disney Cruise Liners were sort of launching a program out of Miami. And it was basically fly over to Miami, do a few nights there, and then do this cruise. And it took you sort of around the Bahamas. And it also took you they had a private island down there, which it was absolutely incredible. And one of the coolest things was that this island was originally run by Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've heard about it. It's something that's all over when it first launched, kind of thing. It had a very dodgy background, and now Disney have turned into this incredible private island with kids stuff going off all over. But I loved the history part, and it was something that really interested me.
What a funny transition from such a sinister past to then being Disney. That is a journey in itself, right?
Honestly, it definitely grabbed me, and it's something I've always remembered. But yeah, it was that first big work trip where, and to be fair, all the others were sort of retail store managers, and I was someone 21 kind of thing, ambitious, and yeah, it was an incredible trip with some lovely people.
And what was one of your last work trips?
So literally yesterday, we did And Beyond at St Pancras. So very large scale event, getting all of our clients, far and wide, sort of law firm, private equity, all to come together, collaborate, educate. It was an opportunity for myself to speak on stage, which was great for the profile of events, because we do a huge part of business travel, but also we've got our events business, which is growing and doing the group side of things. So it was a great opportunity to promote to our current customers.
I love that. And did you enjoy speaking? I feel like you're a good speaker.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No, it was a great opportunity. I was with several colleagues that obviously they've done it for a long time, and I feel like if you're in good company, some great people I aspire to be in the business, and yeah, they guided me well, shall we say.
The confidence sort of rubs off a little bit.
Honestly, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Ian Ferguson, you rocked it for me. Thank you.
Love that. The next part of the podcast is about sort of reliving and revisiting. And so if you had the power to go back in time and transport yourself to a destination experience that you've had, which would it be?
Destination experience. So I was very lucky as a child to travel a lot, and sort of one of my last trips as a child was we did Vancouver and Whistler.
Oh wow!
Sort of like a dual destination. Skied in Whistler for a week, then headed down to Vancouver. But I was 14. It was that thing where I did not appreciate my mum and dad's hard-earned money to go on that trip.
Yeah.
And actually looking back now, it was incredible, and there's so much more I'd like to see in Canada as a whole.
I feel like you'd have so much more fun, like with après ski and being able to like just enjoy the real kind of ski culture, not being 14.
100%. It was still that stage where I was allowed a shandy and nothing more, kind of thing.
And it's so funny, isn't it? Because I always think this, like when parents take these kids to like the safari or something, like you see these like 5-year-olds going on like to the Serengeti, and you're like, is it worth all that money? Do they really appreciate it? Wait until they're like 20, But it's true. I think if you could relive that, you'd probably do it very differently to when you were 14.
100%. I went with my younger sister at the time, who was about 10, and we were still at that age where we butted heads a lot. We made the car journey that was supposed to be incredible from Vancouver to Whistler a nightmare, both being in the back kind of thing.
Yeah, so your parents will probably think they'd like to relive it too, basically.
Absolutely.
Without you.
Yeah, probably.
And of all the hotels you've stayed in, if you could make one a home, which would it be?
So I've recently stayed at Grantley Hall, which, as you can probably tell from the accent, I'm from the north, and about an hour away from us, just near Harrogate, Ripon area. There's Grantley Hall, opened a few years ago, and it actually won AA Hotel of the Year, and it's sort of 50 rooms, the most stunning spa I've been to in a long time.
Oh, really?
I got to go with the wife, did sort of a Sunday night rate, and it was really special. If you're ever in that neck of the woods, you've got to go.
I also feel like I could see you living in like a stately home, like the Grantley Hall, the manor, this is the Browne manor.
No, trust me, I was a long way from home at that moment. Yeah. That's not from my roots in Scarborough, that's for sure. But yeah, it was a really special. It's got a Michelin star restaurant and things, so, and it's got a huge event space, which was nice. I got a show around and everything, so it was very special.
The next part of the podcast is like reimagining, right? So this industry is constantly putting on events, experiences, incentives for other people. But if you were to create an incentive trip, a program, a reward and recognition program for yourself, where would you go? What would you do? And what celebrity would you bring along with you?
To be honest, I feel like I'm going on it soon. So in a couple of weeks' time, I'm doing Sri Lanka.
Amazing.
And it's somewhere that I've wanted to go for years. The culture, the history. It's got this incredible train journey that you can go from Ella to Kandy, which is world famous, and the beaches down that way. And being from the north, I'm extremely tight, and I've heard it's dirt cheap. So that's a big advantage from my side of things. So yeah, me and the wife, we're going in a couple of weeks.
Amazing. I think there's a photo that you can take on the train, isn't there, where it like bends or something, and people always take photos sort of hanging off the train or something like that.
Exactly that. Yeah. I think that's sort of near the Ella way sort of thing. But yeah, we've got this itinerary, and we're sort of doing a bit of a backpacking thing, like 2 or 3 days in each destination, and it's mixing that sort of jungle with the beach resorts. It should be great.
And in addition to your wife, Who would be your celebrity guest?
Yeah. I probably can't tie that in by now saying Margot Robbie now, but I don't know. Someone with great, I'm a huge sports fan, so anyone from the sporting world, or Tom Brady's a very inspirational American football player, or LeBron James from the basketball arena, something like that.
That would be cool, to be fair. I think, is it Steph Curry that seems to be just good at every sport? Like, he's obviously a basketballer, but then, like, he took on golf and then just got, like, a hole-in-one or something like that, and just, like, I could feel like you'd take him on a trip to Sri Lanka and he'd do whatever sport they were playing, he'd probably just smash that as well, to be honest.
Now you're saying it probably doesn't sound like a good idea, because I'm really competitive, so I'd lose at everything, so I don't know how that would actually go down.
Yeah, by the end of the trip, you'd be like, why did I bring you with me?
Exactly.
Damn
Can
you,
you stop
LeBron.
beating me? Yeah, it probably would.
The final part of the podcast is a quick fire round of questions for you to react to. So it's very short. Don't think about it. Just give me your answers.
It could be dangerous.
It's an either or answer. So don't worry. You don't have to just start blurting out word association or anything like that. You look concerned.
No.
Packing, last minute or the week before?
Oh, last minute every day.
Carry on or check in?
Carry on.
Airport lounge or shopping?
Airport lounge.
Aisle seat or window seat?
Aisle seat.
That's rogue. I feel like I'm a window seat man. So what's your thinking by the aisle seat?
I don't know. I just like to get in and out. I had a recent flight to America, and I was, shall I say, sat next to quite a big lady, and it's sort of, I feel like I'm scarred because I was pushed against this window, and it was like I just feel like my aisle I can get out.
I've actually been in that situation where actually it was a couple that were trapping me in, and I ended up having to sort of Spider-Man myself out of that situation in order to go to the loo. So yeah, I get that. City or nature?
I'd say city at the moment. I'm enjoying my city breaks.
Lay-in or early start?
Early start. This morning got up for a run at 6 o'clock. Start my day right. I'm a big fitness person.
You're part of the 6 o'clock club. It's 5 a.m. club, whatever it is.
Yeah, maybe not quite that early most of the time, but yeah, I always start my day with gym, run, something like that. Being from the corporate world, sat on my backside a lot of the time. It's nice just to start it on the right foot.
I wish I was like you. I need that in my life, but yeah, I'm a lay-in guy. Poolside or seaside?
I'd say I like the seaside personally. Being from Scarborough, I've always been grown up there, and it's seaside every day.
Planned or spontaneous?
Planned as I'm getting older, probably. If I'm honest.
And finally, hotels, boutique or big brands?
I'd say boutique more recently. I'm enjoying sort of experiencing, especially one of these ones where, you can really feel you're in the destination. I've really enjoyed a few hotels we've stayed in recently where actually, it's incorporated the local area where you are.
I feel like a lot of the big brands are trying to do that as well now as well. I think there's this real ethos for embracing the destination with whatever property it is. So yeah.
It's great to see.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on Flock Together.
No, it's been my pleasure, Callum. Thank you ever so much.